and welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. Happy 20th of June, everybody. At the end of today will be 2/3 of the way through. So let's have a look at which one we're doing today. Where are we going to? 25. Oh, so we're going over into the far corner. Over here. Let's see, yeah, it'll sit on my easel without any messing. And we have quite a few little blocks of colour here. So let's just move that down a little smidge. In fact, I don't want to move it down too much to still give myself a nice chunk for another day. So we'll do it there. Looks like we have quite a bit of glow in the dark, and the pen for today, this is actually from GBFKE, and it is a light up pen. So it does have a button here, and it does actually make the end of the pen light up. Not that you can see it in this lighting, but when I did the unboxing, I did the full on turn the lights off test, and it definitely lights up. I think you would just need to be in quite a bit of a darkened room, or a darker room, probably even evening time, to get the full benefit of it. Under my lights, not so much. But yeah, it's a nice chunky pen. It's a pretty colour, which always helps. A nice rose gold. And I've got quite a bit of sort of background blue for this one, so I'm going to make myself a little boxed in area, see how close I can get these diamonds. This colour of diamond doesn't seem to be as bad as some of the others. I think it's more the tealy colour that seems to have more gaps around it than this one, so we'll just create ourselves a little box in, and if I do find that it's going off track when I'm doing my little steps to fill in the gap, then I can always just stop doing that. Figure it out as I go along, which is normally the way. Normally the way I like to do stuff anyway. Figure it out as I go along. So questions. Tracy asks, is it common for diamonds to melt into the glue? She had to remove a couple of drills and they left behind clay type bits. Is that normal? I think that will depend on the type of glue. By the sounds of it, that's poured glue, which is like what I'm working on. If you are in a very warm place at the time, it may be that I don't think it's so much the diamonds melting. I think it's more the glue being a little bit more squishy. Maybe a little bit thicker than normal. I can normally, if I am sort of removing a diamond, sometimes I can see an imprint of sort of where it was. And it may be a bit tough to get off, but normally I can still reuse the glue. It's hard to know if that is what you're describing, but it depends how quick you move it and also how hard you've pushed the diamond into the glue. Sounds like your glue's quite thick though, if it's leaving, you know, a mark that's causing you concern. But my guess is it's the heat. Maybe the glue hasn't cured. So sometimes if the glue hasn't cured properly, then it can cause problems. It can normally be more slippy as well. And normally the answer to that is to peel back your cover paper and let it sort of sit for a little bit longer and fully cure the glue. But I haven't necessarily experienced that myself. So it hasn't been tested by me, it's been tested by others. So I'm only going on what I've sort of heard. Ed says, what size glue dots are recommended? from what I've seen so far, people recommend, if you haven't got any glue dots to start off with, is the micro glue dots, just because they're a smaller size, so they're easier to fit into the likes of the smaller tips on the pens. But I have heard of people using regular size glue dots and cutting them into quarters and then using one from there. So it depends whether you have any or not yet. But if not, it's micro that people tend to use. Glory B says, how do you calculate your squares per canvas? So for a square canvas, you can take the centimetres. So for example, 30 centimetres, and divide it by 0.25, and that will tell, I think the exact measurement is 0.254, I think, from memory, and that will give you how many diamonds, square diamonds, are in your 30 across. If you want to work out how many diamonds you have totally on the canvas, you'll then need to do the calculation with the 40. So 40 divided by 0.25 and then times your two answers together to get the amount of drills over the whole of the canvas. And I think rounds is 0.27, but don't hold me to that one because I haven't looked it up. But the rounds are slightly bigger, so therefore you will get slightly less rounds on a painting that's the same size as one with square. You'll end up with more square diamonds than you will round, but not by a lot. Glory B also says, Diamond Art Club now sell paper to use on your canvas. Have you tried it yet? No, I've not tried it. It does look like the same release paper that I use. It's quite a common. It's sold across a few different companies. They do sell the same release paper. As far as I'm aware, it's the same stuff. Let me just have a look. Benefit of having my computer here. Let's go to Diamond Art Club. There we go. And then accessories. Let's have a look. Diamond Art release paper. Theirs looks to be very similar. It looks as though it does say it's double-sided. It looks like it has their name printed in it. And it looks to be either the same as this cover paper that I've got here, or the likes of the paper that you can have on the double-sided canvases. But it does say it's double-sided, silicone coated. Yeah, it looks very much the same. It's currently out of stock. Yeah, but it looks the same stuff, just with their logo on it. So I haven't tried that. Anne-Marie says she starts sticking her diamonds down from the beginning of the alphabet. So she does the capitals of the alphabet, and then she does the lowercase, and then she does numbers, and finally symbols. I have been known to do that before on a canvas, either by doing it by symbols like that, or doing it in DMC number order. So basically whatever number order they're in my storage. If there's a lot of confetti and I can't quite decide, I will go that way. I also do my Heaven and Earth design that way now, because that has 239 colours, which I spent a lot of time at the beginning searching for a symbol in with all my colours, and I found it a lot easier, especially once I got the Pattern Keeper app, to just go down, in this case the DMC numbers, bit by bit, and just worked from the smallest DMC number to the biggest, and did any symbols in the colours as I came across them. And of course not all of them were in the section I was working on, but it seemed to be definitely a lot quicker than hunting for each symbol, dependent on what part of the chart I was doing. Because it's in 4 different cases, my Heaven and Earth designs, so it does take up quite a little bit of space. Oh, Tina says she got her pink tray today and loves it. That's awesome. Thank you so much for making diamond painting even better. My pleasure. I love the way of changing things up, and I love that we can all sort of get together in relation to diamond painting, even though we are more often than not miles apart. It's sort of a nice little group project. Right, let me pop those back. Looks like I've got quite a few bitty symbols to do now, but I like the bitty symbols. Sometimes I do really enjoy doing a big block of colour, but there are times as well that I do love it when I have lots of different bitty bits. And I just had 2 diamonds that wanted to move together, so I decided to put them in a place where they can. Looks like I do need a couple of ABs here as well. Spread in the sparkle. And I have just filled up this pen tip with wax. When I was trying to, at first it didn't have this tip in it. I've actually put an wrong company, Everlasting tip in this pen. Now I don't know whether I'd taken the brass one out when I was having a mess about putting new Everlasting tips in pens, or whether it never came with one. But at first I thought, oh, you must just put the wax straight in the end, and then I'm thinking to myself, the wax is just going to keep going and going and going through the whole pen, and in fact some of it did. But I stopped myself before I got too far, and I did put in an Everlasting tip, and it fit perfectly. Right, where did I put my AB pen? Where have I put my AB pen? Oh, it's here. Tucked under my easel. Just to confuse me. Let's get a few of these in. It's the only thing with putting ABs in last when I'm using this softer wax. Just trying to get them to squeeze in. So we've got one up there and one up there. Which is good because I've not got too many of these left, but there's not too many places they go in, so I'm sure it'll all work out. Share for him, she says, sticky toffee pudding. She said, makes me want to go back to England. It's so good. It is. It's one of my favourite of all time desserts. And if they serve it with custard, all the better. You can get it with ice cream, but it's a bit meh. I'm not a huge fan of ice cream. I like it, and there are times that I really enjoy an ice cream, but more often than not, it's sticky toffee pudding with custard that I really, really want. And not everywhere does custard. Miller and Carter, I couldn't actually see it on the menu when I was looking. But I asked for it with custard, thinking if they haven't got it, they'll tell me. and they went, yeah, okay, and off they went, and it came back with custard. I was well impressed. They don't know how to make a flat white coffee, but the sticky toffee pudding and custard, they could do that. You win some, you lose some. Jean says, hi Rebecca, what square diamond painting would you recommend for beginners? If you're going to see, I think the easiest square to work on when you're first starting squares is one where they do fit snugly. So you can do the likes of the step method or the checkerboard method, and you can find which one works for you. And consistently, the best company that I've found to get them from so far, because there are a few like Diamond Art Studio that I haven't yet, I've only done a section on the painting, I haven't yet worked with it enough. But the only place that I know is pretty much always bob on, though they do make mistakes, but they're more often than not bob on, is Evermoment on AliExpress. I always enjoy working on their squares, and they only actually do squares. They are more expensive though, but they're really nice quality. And that's why for the custom pictures that I'm doing, I'm saving the Evermoment for last, because I will have already done, it'll be the 4th time I'm doing the same picture. I wanted the last painting that I do to be the one that I enjoy more so the process of putting the painting together, because by then I'll have seen the image enough. I'll have had the enjoyment out of doing the image. I then will get the enjoyment out of placing the diamonds. She said, where can I buy the pretty pen that you use for placing your ABs? If it's this one, I think this may be from, trying to remember where I got this from. I can't remember whether it was sent to me by Victoria's Moon or Fan Cells. They do sell them on AliExpress, and I'm quite often, I think you can find them on Amazon as well, but they may be down as nail art pens, because they are used for picking up and placing rhinestones. And quite a few people will have rhinestones in their nail varnish or attached, while the nail varnish is still wet. So I think some of it is down as nail art, but I'm pretty sure you can find it on Amazon. She says she got her pink tray and covers a few days ago. She said she loves the tray, it makes it a lot easier now. She's also having problems with her pink wax. She can diamond paint for about 15 minutes before needing to refill it. Could it be the heat, or am I not filling it enough? I think it's the heat. Because while I may have started, with quite a few pen tips that hadn't been filled for the likes of this Whip and Chat, I have filled them to the max that I can before starting, and I still find that I'm having to refill it. And I do think that the heat is making the wax a little bit more soft. So with the process of pushing the diamonds, it does push it further and further down the pen. And with the likes of the pink pens, it doesn't have a stopping point. Quite often the brass tips that you get are actually hollow, so it will keep going into the likes of the white part of the pen, and you'll see it sort of snake out of a mini hole at the back of the tip. And yeah, it snakes out of there. Now, with the everlasting tips that I've got, they aren't hollow at the back, so you can only fit a certain amount of wax in, no matter how soft it is, before it becomes full. And pretty much full to the point that it won't fit any more in, full to bursting. So I do find that the everlasting tips don't need filling as much because of that. But yeah, I don't think it's you. Jean. I definitely think it is the heat. And us Brits just aren't used to it for quite as long. Because even though we've had the odd little bit of rain or a few little showers, it's still been warm. Muggy warm, but it's been warm. And yeah, I don't think the wax likes it. Maybe try the glue dots. Maybe that will sort it for you. It will be something I will be giving a go. Just I want to do a video on it, so it'll be after this event. Halloween Crafting said stretcher bars and magnetic clip frames are two different things. Yes, they are. I did think that after I'd read a question, and I read it as magnetic clip frames, not as stretcher bars. So stretcher bars do go under the canvas and they stretch the canvas on all four sides. A bit like you can sort of see when you buy, you know, like a blank box canvas to paint, and it's got the bars underneath. And I've just put that in the wrong place. Where's my tweezers? I've just put that one where H should go, and I don't have H at the moment. Let's see if I can get it out. There we go. What do I want? I want Y. Have a moment. Sorry, yeah, and then they're affixed using adhesive or tacks and staples. While they can be removed, it's not easy. And then magnetic or clip frames are only on the top and the bottom, and they're clipped onto the canvas via friction clips or magnets, which is what I have from IKEA. Is the sort of hanging clip ones. She has some as large as 50 by 70 without requiring, without requiring any additional help, and they've been up for months. However, she's just hung a large 100 by 60 painting on a 60 centimetre magnetic frame, and it's immediately giving out. She said taping the front and back of the top of the canvas with standard double-sided tape has made it work so far, but it's been up for less than a week. So there we go. It looks like if your painting is too heavy, then you may need the double-sided tape as was originally suggested. If not, she does have some carpet tape in the wings if that doesn't work. Yeah, and that carpet tape stuff is pretty good. I got some for both the rug in my craft room and also the one I have in the hall. And I had to move a rug once recently. We have laminate flooring, or some form of laminate or wood flooring. And I I was rearranging and I moved a rug into a different position, and the carpet tape actually came up off the floor without leaving any residue. I was expecting to have to crack my glue gun out, but I didn't need to. So high praise for the carpet tape, and it's kept our front door mat in position for a lot longer than anything else has. Even those mat pads just don't do it the same way. Okay, so LET has said, can anyone recommend what I should search when looking for diamond paints for kits with the shiny iridescent drills? So for that, you need to search AB, LE. That was actually placed on a non-whip and chat video as well, so let me just reply. So you need to search for AB drills. I've just realised it's not one of the little whip and chat thumbnails. so she may not have watched this video. But we answer these questions for both the people that ask them and also everybody else that may not know they needed to know. But yeah, the sparkly ones are AB drills. She actually asked it on a Dreamer Designs video because they have some AB scattered in as well. And of course there are many other companies that now do ABs. They've realised that we all like that extra bit of sparkle in our lives. So I've got one more little piece of confetti and then I've got 2 solid numbers to do, which means I should be able to concentrate on the questions a lot more. She says, doesn't mean I will, but it means I'll try. So let me just get these A's in. Done. Okay, glow in the dark it is. What have we got? So Shelley says she wants to get a Heaven and Earth Designs canvas, but the number of drills listed for these are overwhelming for her. Yeah, some of them are epic, I will say that. Can you give advice on where's the best to source the drills in the UK? This will help me work out overall costs. Okay, so if you're not using any of your spares, the best place for you to find costing in the UK will be Smith's Beads. They actually have some listings, or at least they did last time I looked, that were specifically for Heaven and Earth Design charts that you've purchased. So you can choose in the drop down menu the chart that you want to do, and they will give you the price for the diamonds and the blank canvas. I'm not sure if they do just the diamonds if you're going to purchase the canvas itself from Heaven and Earth Designs, but I'm sure they will do if you email them. They do also do, custom orders if it's not listed, but if you want a quick way to sort of price up what you think it might be, then that'll be your best bet by far. And because they've done kitting up for quite a few Heaven and Earth Design charts in the past, they're very familiar with the way they work. So if they don't have the listing already, you can always message them and give them a link to the chart you purchased, not the actual chart itself, to the one that you've purchased or the one that you're thinking of purchasing. And based on the floss chart and stuff that comes with it, they can work out what diamond you need or give you an estimated price. They're really good at it because they know how the game goes, how things are handled. And then if you do decide to do a Heaven and Earth Design chart and a big one, you can always get us to make your stickers, because we do Heaven and Earth Design stickers. They don't tell everybody I said that out loud, because Megan's had a few orders in recently and Megan does them. But yeah, Smith's, is it Smith's Diamonds or Smith's UK? Let me go on another little Google. I think it's Smith's Diamonds, is it? Hang on. I needed both hands to be able to type properly. Smith's Beads, that's what it was. I think I may have said that before and then I forgot their name. So Smith's Beads, and then you can go to 5D diamond painting, and they actually have a category. They actually have 2. See, I told you they're used to Heaven and Earth Designs. So they have a section for the blank canvas and diamonds. And then they also have a section for you to get the diamonds if you've purchased a printed canvas from Heaven and Earth Designs. Now at the moment they only have the one. My estimate is that they will create these listings when other customers are interested. So when they've done the work to find out what diamonds are needed, they may as well save that to the website and save themselves a job. But for example, they've got a mini sea turtle, and just for the diamonds, it's £36 from them. And then if I can, Heaven and Earth design, so a design that is, so disintegration, I think that is one that Heaven and Earth design possibly have offered as a free chart, I think. Works out at 101 by 100 centimetres, roughly. That is £91 for both the canvas, the diamonds and the canvas. But there are a few that are a lot less as well. So have a nosy through there, and they're definitely your best bet. Judy says she had to log all of her paintings in an app called GemsFlow because she was losing track. Yeah, I had an app for recording diamond painting. It was actually released a little bit before GemsFlow. Diamond Painting Logbook, I think it was called. I have done a video on it, on the actual app itself. And I went gung-ho and I got all my paintings into it, even ones that I'd done previously. And then I never really updated it. I'm more of a, there are many things that I can use an app for, but there are many things that I just need a list. I need the paper, and if it's on paper, I'm more likely to do it. I think if the app, and I haven't actually checked, so maybe I should check before I confirm, but if an app is available for my Mac, I am more likely to input data into that on a regular basis than I am on my phone. And that is probably because I touch type. So I find it a lot easier to type with a keyboard than I do on my screen. It's just a lot easier for me. So if I've got to input, quite a bit of information, because I like to record quite a bit of information, the canvas size and what type of diamond and all that sort of stuff, I am much more likely to do it digitally if I've got the app on my Mac. If it's on my phone, it's not happening. I know it's not happening, so I may as well just go to a piece of paper and a pen, because that's much easier for me. And there is something nice about noting it down on a piece of paper and a pen. I like the satisfaction of it. And I like the fact that in our logbook, if I do make a mistake on a page, I can just take it out and replace it, because I can be that fussy. But yeah, I have heard that GemsFlow works for many people, and if you prefer apps like that, then GemsFlow or Diamond Painting Logbook is a good one. It is good to have the stuff on hand. I would just need to check if it could go on my Mac, and if it could, I would want it to sync to my phone so that I have access everywhere. Otherwise, I'll go for the pretty and put it in my paper logbook. The cat lady, she says, congratulations on your company decisions. I hope life brings you what you seek. Thank you. She said, yes, I am back off my jollies. I hope you had a lovely time. A really nice time. Holidays are always good, if you can get them. I think we're pausing ours this year and just waiting for, one, for things to settle down, and second, for prices to not be quite as high. I mean, I completely understand why they're higher. Businesses have to be able to try and meet all the costs that they've incurred while they've had to shut. So things have increased in price, and I think they still will for a while. And I completely understand why. But I don't want to be fighting to try and find somewhere to stay because everybody's decided to go away, as well as paying more for it. I want booking a holiday to be easy. So I think so far we may change our minds. We may go looking and find a holiday that is easy to book, and then we may still do it, but it will definitely be in the UK. We're sticking close to home this year because things definitely haven't settled travelling abroad. And as nice as it is, we love a UK holiday just as much, so why have that stress of it potentially, having to either isolate when you get home or pay for quarantine when you get home? If a country goes on the red list, you've got to pay for the privilege of being stuck in a hotel. I'm not into all of that kind of malarkey at all. So yeah, stick to the UK and visit some gorgeous places that we have to see anyway. Right, Cat Lady again. She's just said she's recapped the whole series of Outlander. They were her choice during the first lockdown. She has the DVDs, but they miss out far too much for her liking. Yeah, they do. They miss out big chunks of the story. I've sort of definitely seen that. There are definitely chunks that are missed because the books are so long and so detailed. You just couldn't get that into a TV show at all, could you? Not without the TV show never ending. She said she's looked back on previous videos that she missed while she was away and noticed that you mentioned the books you like, and all of them were among her favourites, including Nora Roberts as JD Robb. Must have the same sort of mindset. I love the JD Robb, and I'm actually in a Facebook group about that sort of the in-depth series, and they keep, every now and then somebody will put a quote up from one of the books, the quote that they like, or a little conversation that went on in the book of, that is how a certain relationship works, and it just makes me want to read them all over again. It really does. Laura has said, will you be doing an extra waffle to catch up on all the questions and the comments? Yes and no. So it won't be a specific June waffle catch up, but I am hoping to bring in, July, August and on a more regular whip and chat. So probably more likely be once a week kind of thing, because they are a longer video and they can take up a chunk of time, and I can't keep going doing a video every evening after work, not for longer than a month anyway. It would more than wipe me out, but I am thinking of bringing one back each week. So I will, when I do that whip and waffle, I will be answering the questions from this one before, of course, then people will comment on that one, and it will just sort of snowball. And I'm hoping that each whip and waffle I will have questions from the last one to answer. Whereas now I'm sort of catching up day to day. I'm actually filming this before the 19th whip and waffle has gone up, because it's the weekend. I'm trying to get ahead of myself a little bit, and yeah, I'm hoping that I can get near to the end of the questions on the 18th ready, so that I'm sort of not too far behind on the questions. But yeah, they will be following on. Susan says it's really looking good. I don't know if it would be as beautiful without the ABs though. Yeah, I think the ABs do add that extra, just that extra little bit of sparkle, and I do think I am going to try and find a way of bringing more ABs in future paintings. I do think, I mean, it may need a bit more planning. Maybe I just do it on some bigger ones. I'm not sure yet, but I do like the sparkle that ABs bring. I need to go hunting and find, you know, somewhere that I like for ABs, maybe spend some time actually going through the paintings that I do have lined up to do and order some ABs with them in mind. You know, still remembering that they can be used for a different project. They're not necessarily have to be for a certain project, but that I've got them there if I decide I want to do them, and eventually sort of build myself up a little collection. That might be something I'll do. Well, I'm not sure when. When I have a minute and fancy maybe not actually diamond painting, but doing something diamond painting related, that's when I might, maybe when I update my logbook with, you know, the diamond paintings that I have in my possession, maybe that will be a good time to just run down the charts and have a look at the canvases and make a little note of which ones would look nice with ABs and add a little bit of sparkle. So Dawn, I did actually spot this comment come through on email, because a lot of comments come through on email to me, so I do have a quick read before I get to them on this chat. How many come through on email I think can depend on how many comments are left at the same time. But Dawn says, is it possible to print personalised or monogrammed trays, even if it's a minimal additional fee? And I mentioned this to both hubby and to Megan, and hubby does seem to think it's something that may be doable. It's hubby that would need to do it because he sort of messes with the software, and they would have to be printed to order, so there would potentially be a delay on them getting shipped out, partly because they can't be printed until the design's been done. So it's when the design could be done for it. But yeah, I do like the idea of you being able to get your own personalised tray rather than it just having ours. We're currently messing, you know, with bringing detail into the actual print itself rather than just being added on, and the tests are going well so far with the alternative way of doing it we've found. So stay tuned. If we can offer personalised, we will. It won't be on the limited at the moment. It will be something that will probably just be on the base, on our standard colours, but that's because we haven't got the space or the time to be storing multiple different colours. So we've sort of had to pick a little variety and stick with it for now. But you never know if things change in the future. But yeah, I like the idea of it. We're going to do a couple of test runs on one with names on and see how they work out. And we'll let you guys know as and when. It will be a few weeks. I know that just because you know, we already need to build stock back up. I think the last of the tray orders are going out this weekend. They will be finished printing. But we had a lot of tray orders in a very short space of time. So I think the last of them will be going out this weekend or Monday, due to when the post office is open. They'll be going out on Monday, and we need to build some stock up so that we can be sending trays out as soon as people order. But yeah, very good idea, Dawn. I like the idea. And yeah, we'll see how soon we can get that implemented. We also want to look at a different size of tray as well, you see. So there's a few things in the queue, but maybe the personalised one will be the easier one to implement, and therefore we might be able to do that a little bit sooner. So, oh wow, look at that AB. That does look really nice. Scattered all the way across. Beautiful. Okay, I am as far out as I can go. Tweezers, wax, pens, put them all together out the road. And there we go. We've only got 10 more squares to go. It seems as though we've done much more than 20. It also sort of doesn't seem as though we have 10 left, but we definitely do, because I've just done a quick count. And we'll see tomorrow where the next square takes us. But thank you so much for joining for today, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow.